Good afternoon, everyone. As promised, we're getting ready to open not this weekend, but the weekend of July the 4th to 5th. And as you can see, I'm in Father Lukash's office. So the old saying is, not dead 2 minutes and we're already moving in. But anyway, he's getting ready to leave on Friday, I believe. So I just want to go over some of the protocols that will be expected of all of us when we do reopen. And first is that we happily are now up to 100 attendees at the masses. So that's much better than the 50, because we don't have to make, I don't imagine we'll have to turn too many people away, especially since we have such a large parish church. So we can do the social distancing for the 100 easily enough. And that's what we're going to go through right now. However, the Mass experience, you will probably notice when you first come in, is going to be a little different. It might take some adjusting until we find that we are free of all these restrictions and protocols for the safety of each other. The Mass schedule is, as always, 5 p.m., 7:30 in the morning, 9, 11, and then 6 p.m. Sunday evening. All masses, though, are in the church. There will be no Sunday masses in the chapel, okay? We are asking that any regular 5 p.m. or 11 a.m. attendee, those are the bigger crowds, if you could take a chance at hit and missing at the 9 or the 6 Sunday night, even the 7:30, that might help us so that we don't have to turn anyone away. It's my goal not to turn anyone away, and I don't think we're going to have to. General protocols. Safety is of the primary importance. Now, why we are dispensed from the obligation to get to the physical church for Mass, we are not dispensed from the obligation for Sunday Mass. So we will be making available on the website the 5 p.m. Saturday evening Mass. We'll be taping that and have it available. Therefore, anyone who's uncomfortable with returning to the facility for any reason whatsoever, or if you're compromised in health in any way, either you can spread a contagion or you are susceptible to it, folks, you should feel comfortable to stay home. We'll have the Mass posted and you watch it in the safety of your own home. So that's very important. Please do not come to the church if you are uncomfortable or unable, and that will help the others who are going to be able to get back to not have to add another layer of protocol or anxiety or whatever. So the obligation to get to the church is lifted. The obligation to attend Mass via the TV or the radio or whatever you might be able to do remains. And if you can't do that, then you are free of the obligation for sure. All those who are attending, though, will be seated in alternate pews, and so we've simply taped off the entryways to those pews that will not be used during this time. And this helps maintain the social distancing. Remember that families, you can sit together. I mean, you sit together in your own homes. You can certainly sit together in the church. There's no problem with that. Mask must be worn by all those ages 2 and up, which would be another reason if you have infants or toddlers, even up to the age of 5 or 6, they may be very uncomfortable with a mask. You may want to consider remaining at home for that reason. We will be trying to practice social distancing at all times within the possibility of life on Earth. Hand sanitizer is available throughout the church, from the doorways, in the church itself, in the facilities, just everywhere we could put hand sanitizer. We have now put that. Please, I know you haven't seen each other in such a long time. Many of you will be getting to see each other after many months, but no congregating before Mass or after the Mass, especially in the church building. Okay, we're back. So, please, no congregating before the Mass or after the Mass, especially in the church building. because obviously that breaks down the whole social distancing thing. The ushers, and please do not be upset if an usher asks you to move along or to put your mask on or to visit with each other outside of the church, because the ushers will be trying to enforce the social distancing, the hand sanitizing, the wearing of masks, all that. That's just to help us be safe and to help us keep the protocols. So do not be upset if an usher approaches you, and if you feel that that you were doing something correctly, you can let the usher know that. But we're going to have to collaborate, work together in a moment that may be, in the beginnings, a little bit tense. I don't imagine too much though. So anyway, note that the church will be sanitized after each Mass. So for that reason also, we need folks to move out quickly so that we have this new machine that fogs the entire area, and that will take a few moments, and then the church will be sanitized for the next Mass before they come in. Okay? The collection basket is, we're not having a collection or an offertory procession, or really any procession of any all. There'll be no lectors proceeding or no Eucharistic ministers processing, but there will be, the collection basket will be in the back for your convenience. You'll notice it'll be by the holy water fountain, which will be emptied for now. We'll only put a small bowl of water in there if we need to. For some reason, that has to be kept dry. The no singing band is still on, therefore there will be no singing, but Michael will be there to play instrumentally some music, but there will be no singing at Mass. So you'll notice all the books and all the missalettes, all the toddlers' books in the toddler room, all have been removed, and that's just because they had to they have to be sanitized each time, and how do you sanitize every single page and all that sort of thing. So all books, pamphlets, and all that sort of thing have been removed. There'll be no exchange of peace with human contact. I'm toying with the idea of just skipping the sign of peace for now, but a lot of folks seem to like to turn and nod to each other. So we'll see how it goes. But no human contact, no shaking of hands, no exchange of kiss for the time of peace. Again, the ushers are helping out, and they're going to be getting their protocol training next week, before we open. We're asking, if at all possible, that you remember to please enter in one way and to exit out another. The entryway has been designated now, since the larger portion of the parking lot is by the school. Those two doors on the side of the church building, nearest the school, nearest the main parking, will be where most folks will enter from. And then everyone will go out the main door. So we're asking everyone to enter, even if you park over by the cemetery, to walk down the sidewalk and enter through those side doors, and then go out the main doors. There, of course, will be the exception for the elderly or the handicapped or those who have a special need of any sort. You may continue to enter through the main doors. But otherwise, if you're able-bodied, we'd ask that you come through the side doors. For Holy Communion, there will only be 2 distributors of Holy Communion, and they will be in the center aisle. So you can imagine the center aisle. Folks will come up and they'll go back down the sides, and then come back down the sides to their pews. And only one section at a time. For example, we'll do the central section, and 1 pew at a time. The ushers will let them out, then they can come up. And then, are we still video? Okay, good. And then when they're all finished, the next sections over here, will go out by the sides, down, up the center aisle, and back down the sides to their pews, like that. And then we'll do the back sections and so forth and so on, until everyone has received Holy Communion. We ask that you maintain a safe distance, the 6-foot social distance. We do have hand sanitizer in the center aisle. If you wish to sanitize your hands before receiving Holy Communion, and of course the priest has hand sanitizer there along with the Eucharistic minister, should they feel necessary to use that. They will do so before beginning, at any moment also, during the distribution of Holy Communion. And then for those who do not feel comfortable going to Holy Communion but do wish to come to church, one of the lectors will read the prayer of spiritual communion so that all can feel included and wanted and welcomed. Spiritual communion will be offered at all the masses. And finally, please check the website or the Facebook for a complete listing of the protocols. Again, for those not ready to join us live or who shouldn't join us live, the 5 p.m. Mass will be videotaped and posted to the website, as we have been doing posting the Masses to the website. So that will be available. Daily Mass will resume as of July the 6th. That's Monday, July the 6th. And that will be at 8:15 as always, but in the church. The chapel is just too small, so everything will be in the church. All liturgies will be in the church, except for a few things like maybe a baptism or something of that sort. Otherwise, just keep going to the church. Keep going. Assume the chapel is not being used unless you're being told otherwise. That is a good documentary, because we're having problems with the lights, and now they're blinking all over, George, and we have it on video, I hope. Okay, now, one thing I should have said, and I don't know if I did at the beginning, was welcome back. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone. I will be processing out of the church and going right to the sacristy, so I won't be able to talk with you because I don't want to be breaking the protocols themselves, but I'm excited that we're getting back to normal. God bless everyone.